We decided when we saw this video about medical marijuana and how it was helping children with seizures, we decided the best thing for Madeleine was that we needed to move out to Colorado. And my mother joined me out here in Colorado. When we came out here and Madeleine started the medical cannabis, it was, as you heard in that video, it was our only hope before was brain surgery, taking out the whole left side of her brain. And to look at my child and imagine taking out the left side of her brain is very difficult for any mother, for any parent to see that. So when we heard that medical cannabis could help, at first it was scary because you're like, well, I don't want my child getting stoned. I don't want my child smoking pot. But once we realized that it really was an oil that is given, was given to her at first 3 times a day, sublingually in her mouth, and that it wouldn't get her high or anything like that, we slowly started to realize that actually the pharmaceuticals were making her high and that the cannabis was helping her get better. And she was off of all pharmaceuticals. We started the cannabis oil in October, and she was off of all pharmaceuticals by the end of December.
And could you talk about the change, the frequency of the seizures previously, before you started this treatment, and what life is now like for your daughter and your family?
Yeah, she had 3 days of video monitoring and testing at Johns Hopkins Hospital in the summer. During that time, we were actually told, and we didn't know this, that 80% of her sleep was seizure activity. She was having so many seizures that she could not learn. She could not add. The neurologist put 2 fingers up and said, "What's 1 + 1?" And she said 3. She couldn't even add, and at this point she was 8 years old. And she couldn't read, she couldn't do anything. And so basically, once she started the cannabis, it took some time. It was a little roller coaster. You know, there was periods of time where she would have more seizures, and there were periods of time where she was very cognitively clear, is the best way to show it. She was coming out of her shell. She had starting to have a quality of life. It wasn't until she was totally off the pharmaceuticals. Now she sleeps through the night. Her EEGs have drastically changed from what they were to what they are now. It's miraculous because, like I said, she's on no pharmaceutical. She's only on cannabis oil, and her EEGs have drastically changed. She reads now for the first time. She is able to add simple addition and subtraction for the first time. She wants to learn, and that's huge as well. So there's a lot of positive changes that we weren't expecting. We were just expecting a decrease in seizures. We had no idea that we would see all the things that we're seeing with her now.
Maddie, what does your medicine taste like?
Charlotte's Web.
What does it taste like?
Oil.
It just tastes like oil. And how do you feel living in Colorado? Have you made new friends? Do you miss your friends from home?
I made new friends. I miss my friends in Virginia, where I used to live, and but I also like my friends in Colorado.
And Dara, this whole issue of having basically to uproot yourselves to go to another state to be able to have access to this kind of treatment, your thoughts on that?
Not everybody can get up and just leave like we did. We were blessed to be able to do so, but there's so many families who can't just get up and go. And we are happy to be here. We feel blessed that we are one of these pilot families to be able to be trying this out to show the world that this works. At the same time, the fact that we had to leave everything that we know and people are stripped from their families in order to do this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.